but I'll try. Hey, is it me or is it
hot in here?
Is it me or is it We got a special guest today. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, baby. We on the new platform. Hey. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's hot outside today. Yeah. Hey. KK produce more hotness. Hey. Yep. I feel like Teddy Riley. Yep. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Exclusively on YouTube. Instagram is no more. I'm not hating on Instagram because it's still getting me what I need, but hey, I should have been this switched a long time ago. Hey. What up, everybody? It's your girl, Marquita, but they like to call me who? Miss Hollywood. You tuned into yet another episode of So Hollywood, the podcast. Oh, bars. No, I'm just playing. As you guys know, and actually, you might not know because this is something new to the both of us. Yesterday, I did my first YouTube live interview, and it went well. It could have been better because of the graphics and so on and so forth. However, the guest that I had up there, he was amazing. He's a legendary DJ. But before I get into that, what am I doing? So Hollywood the Podcast is a platform where everyone is treated equally and where I bring them together with this thing called entertainment. Shout out to everybody that has been rocking with me. Shout out to everybody that will rock with me. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Everyone that's just here. I really, when I say I really appreciate y'all, like I really appreciate y'all throughout these different changes and different platforms and different situations that I've been going through. And it's just a matter of time when it's going to be even greater. So right now, oh, we got our special guest in the building. Hold on, y'all. She gonna come up here. But hold on, y'all. I'm doing a lot right now because, like I said, it's hot. It's a hot day in Virginia right now. If y'all in Virginia, please put some shorts on because it's hot as molasses. Anyways, my recap, I had Chris the Glove Taylor. Shout out to him because he is a well-known producer. He has done tracks with Dr. Dre, Ice-T. He's gotten credit for Doggy Style. Like, if y'all don't watch this show and get something from it, because what I'm bringing to you all are not just up-and-coming artists, it's also taking it back to the foundation of this thing called entertainment, because without the foundation for something, you can't start something. It's going to crumble. It's going to tip over. It's going to say, hey, why are you doing this if you don't have a foundation? So without these pioneers and these legends and these humans, it wouldn't be hip hop. It wouldn't be this thing called hip hop. It wouldn't be this thing called culture. It wouldn't be this thing called, a lot of the things that we have. So shout out to the legends, in which we do have another legend up here today. But yes, he is also a cannabis connoisseur. You can follow him on Instagram, CHRISGLOVE_. Let me repeat that. CHRISGLOVE_. He is also a teacher and a student to the business, not just the entertainment, not just the industry, not just, those things. He is a student and a teacher to the business. Catch the latest episode of So Hollywood the Podcast on your favorite podcast streaming platform, as well as here on YouTube. YouTube will have my content. If you, because Instagram, y'all been shutting me down, but I ain't gonna keep dreading on the past. Y'all just forced me to do what I needed to do and switch over here to YouTube. So, anyways, and also want to be a guest on So Hollywood the podcast, go to www.allofhollywood.biz. Once again, www.allofhollywood.biz. Shout out to BTP Media Group. He contacted me through Instagram. He was like, "Yeah, I got clients, I got people that I know. I want to send them your way because I love what you're doing. I love I love the questions that you ask and so on and so forth." So I was just like, "Thank you so much for even giving me this alley-oop." So shout out to Jeff. Um we do have the guest up here. She's getting prepared, so please bear with her. So without further ado, I have to give my proper introduction. She is 1/3. Look, if y'all don't think I do research, listen, it's real. So she is 1/3 of the group Oaktown 357. She's an author of Conditional Truths. I'm sorry, plural. That's with a S. And she's a dancer. Also, she is a not just a dancer. Let me write this down because this ain't even right. Not just a dancer. You understand me? Not just a regular dancer. Like this is she I'm gonna let her explain that. But yeah, she's a fitness guru as well, owner of Workout 357. And without further ado, I'm gonna bring her to the stage. Without further ado, I have Sweet LD from Oaktown 357.
What's up? How are you?
Hi, you're so
Hi.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I had to go, and you see my hair starts falling as soon as you open the camera up. What kind of shenanigans? This is a day. I just want you to know I was supposed to be prepared,
It's okay.
and I did my best to be prepared. But yeah, these edges are gonna be falling, and I can't find my mascara. I don't know what's going on. And my son is gonna have, oh, you know what? Hold on, I have some right here.
No problem.
I
This
got
is
some
a raw
readers.
and
We're at an
uncut
age now where I have to
podcast.
have readers. So I got my readers now. So now I might be able to see you a little bit
You
better.
say you read. Oh Lord.
What? Oh, okay. There we go. He gonna bring my real glasses in a minute. I hope. So how are you, young lady? Thank you for
I
having
am
me.
doing great. Thank you
Good.
for coming on the show.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Jeff
And
is a
thank you,
hard
Jeff.
worker, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He's a hard worker. He's a hard worker. Yes.
Okay, so what is your real name? Because I don't want to get it misconstrued because it's not Sweet LD. So
Okay. So you're saying my Muslim name or the birth name?
I'm sorry. You're both of them. Both of
Okay,
them.
birth name is Dewana
Okay.
Jamel Jonigan. I was born
Okay.
in Houston, Texas, and then we moved to California when I was about 6 years old.
Okay.
And I think I was 33. I think I was 33 or 35, one of those, when I changed my name to Suhaila. So Suhaila is a
It's
Persian name, and it
okay.
means fluent and graceful. But I changed that when I became Muslim. So
Okay.
that's how
Understood.
to say that. Yeah.
Understood. I appreciate you for educating me because I don't want to feel like I'm like, "Oh, well, this is what this is." So I'm willing to learn. So thank you for
Oh, of course, of
embracing
course,
me
of
and thank
course.
you for giving me that information because I would have never known. I'm a student to this thing called entertainment. So
Yeah,
anything that you
we
can give
all are.
anything that you can give me is just a blessing. It's amazing to even be
Thank
here and be a
you.
part of your grace. So, let's start the interview with this question. How
Okay.
did this thing called entertainment enter your life?
In a couple of ways, I had a couple of roads into entertainment. One, the first one was being introduced to it through my cousin, who is part of or was part of Graham Central Station. So
Okay.
there was Larry Graham, and then the young lady in the group was Patrice Chocolate Banks. That's my cousin. So she would take me to the studio with her when they would record or rehearse, And then they were always over at our house. You know, we were really close family. So back in Oakland, the music scene was, it was hot, you know. So if you knew
Right.
somebody, you knew somebody, and they knew somebody, and they would always hang out. So that was the one way. The second way was the second introduction to it was through meeting Stanley Kirk Burrell. He was not MC Hammer at the time. He was Stanley Kirk Burrell. He was the Holy Ghost boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we met at Silks, but it was kind of sort of Silks. We were hanging out. I was hanging out. He was hanging out. And then my girlfriends and I left Silks and ran into him deliberately at the gas station. So I introduced myself, asked him to show me how to do the Cabbage Patch. It had just come out. And I said, can you show me how to do it the way you do it? And he said, sure. We met back a couple of weeks later. That's when we hung out. And then he said, would you like to be in the video? So that was how that, started my journey.
So around what age was that the first interaction with entertainment?
With my cousin?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I was a little girl. I want to say like 9, 10,
Okay.
11. I was very young. Yeah.
Okay. And then the
That
second
time.
one, when was that? Around what age?
With MC Hammer?
Well, yeah, I guess that was what was that, 89? So
89,
that had to
I would
been
have been like 23.
okay, so what happened in between that time in order for you to were you dancing in school? Were you into, like, ballet? Were you
In
what
between that
activity?
time, I was a cheerleader.
Mhm.
I played basketball. I learned how to play the piano a little bit. I was in choir in high school, took tap dance. I did not take ballet. I took modern jazz. So I was just a kid. I was never one who thought that I would actually end up on the stage performing. That
Right.
wasn't my goal. I thought I would be a nurse. That was something I thought. Yeah, I really thought I was going to be a nurse because I always wanted to help people.
Right.
And so I thought one way to help people to care for them was to be a nurse. But dancing was something I just loved to do. So my mom would always have me dancing for family and friends when they came over. Then I'm exposed to entertainment with my cousin as far as her being in the music industry. And then just for me, it was just dancing, in the
Right.
clubs, whatever we were doing back then that was popular. Um, and I mean, the only thing I could think of is that Hammer liked the way we looked when we did it. So that, was my
Wow.
my segue into the music industry there as a dancer. But there was no um I'm gonna groom myself to be able to
Right.
dance with someone. It was not ever that. Yeah. And I
Wow.
watched a lot of dances on TV. What do you call that? Who is it? Fred Astaire. I watched those kind of dancers. Gene Kelly. Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay,
I
okay.
watched those kind of dancers.
Gotcha.
I knew about Josephine Baker. I watched people who danced and I loved it, but I just never saw myself as one who would dance like that. Maybe modern jazz, not ballet,
Right.
definitely hip hop or whatever was in the streets in the club. So, yeah.
Was Soul Train out at
Yes.
that okay, okay. So did that
The
have any
American
kind of
Bandstand and
did
Soul
that kind of
Train.
have any inspiration
It
towards
did. Do
okay.
you remember American Bandstand or am I
I
dating
do, I
myself?
do,
Okay.
I do.
Because
I'm 83 because at when you yeah, in '89 I was 6 years old. So yeah, I was born in '83. So
well, you don't have to make me feel any older.
I don't.
Dang. He was 6 years old in '89. She just don't throw that in there. Um, so anyway, yeah, I watched American Bandstand. What was the? Never mind, because it's an old show. I watched that one with Wolfman Jack, Midnight something, and then Soul Train. And I
Mhm.
always wanted to be on Soul Train, And then the Apollo comes out, and I always wanted to be on
Right.
the Apollo. So yeah, those dancers always inspired me because I just thought they were just fly. You know what I'm
But at
saying?
that time, it wasn't the, "Oh, I'm gonna groom myself. I'm gonna be a dancer."
No, I never thought either one of these as far as my writing
Right,
and loving poetry and just teaching myself. I never thought those would lead to anything that they led to. Never
right,
did. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, after I guess, did you attend college? Did you attend those type of, activities as
I
well?
did. I
Okay,
did. I attended college briefly. I'm trying to think. I went to Chabot College. I went to Chabot
Merritt,
College in the Bay Area for a little
okay.
brief. I went to Merritt College. I went to college in LA. I even went to college here in Texas. I love college. I ain't finished yet. I haven't finished yet, but yes, I did. I graduated high school. I moved to Texas. I stayed in Texas for a little while. Went back to visit. Ended up getting pregnant. I
Okay.
stayed home and had my son. Moved back to Texas for a little while, and then when I came back, I was said, let me find a job or something, to go to school. So it was just that kind of just being what we do, you know what I'm saying?
Life.
We just find out what is this life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And happened to go out with my girlfriends. It was about 5 or 6 of us. We always went to Silks in Emeryville, always had a good time. And so the night started out like it normally does. We're just trying to figure out what to wear, who we gonna kick it with, who we trying to find, who's cute, that kind of thing. And we get there and we're hanging out. And my friend Mark Hall, who had gone to St. Mary's. I went to Holy Names High School. He went to St. Mary's. He had just come over and hung out with me a few days before we went to Silks, and he showed me, I want to say the Pee Wee Herman, the Smurf. I think it was the Pee Wee Herman, the Smurf, and the Cabbage Patch. For whatever reason, I just love the Cabbage Patch. It was just dope to me. So I stuck with that. So we were ready to go to the club to try the new dances. We get to Emeryville, to Silks. We get inside. This was a 3-level club. 3 different floors, and on each floor they played different music, different types of music. So we would just go between floors and just figure out, just feel our way through hanging out. But I happened to see Hammer and Ace. He was there with Ace, and he was just commanding this audience, and people were just watching him because they had taken the Cabbage Patch and just done something crazy with it. They
Was
were
he Hammer at the time? Was
No,
he?
he wasn't.
Okay.
He was not.
Okay.
He was not Hammer at the time.
Okay.
He was Stanley Kirk Burrell.
Okay.
That's how I met him. I didn't even know he was the Holy Ghost boy. He was Stanley Kirk Burrell. That's how I met him. When he gave me his number, he wrote down Kirk Burrell. So I didn't meet him as MC Hammer.
Wow.
No,
So
he
you
wasn't
knew
MC Hammer.
Hammer.
Let me fix my camera. I think is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he wasn't MC Hammer at all. I wasn't Sweet LD.
Right.
But of course, because that didn't happen, so we got, of course, duh. But I saw him dancing, and I kept bringing him my friends. Like, you see this guy, I want to know what he's doing.
Right.
But I never said anything in the club. So it was closing, everybody's leaving, and we happened to pass the gas station. He was at the gas station. I said, I'm gonna go and speak to him, and so I did. I went and introduced myself. I said, could you please show me how to do the Cabbage Patch the way you do it? And he's like, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. But that's all I want. I ain't trying to holler at you, bro.
Right.
But he was like, okay. So we exchanged information and said we would meet back. And 2 weeks later, he called and said, let's go meet you at the club. And so we met back at Silks and hung out that whole night. It was myself, Carla, again, all my girls. We just went and hung out. And it was him and Ace. And I think another guy, I can't think who else was there. But we just literally just hung out. Just like, hey, what's up? And just that. It was just literally that. And then dancing, constantly dancing. Stayed on the dance floor. That was my MO anyway. And then he said, well, let's get something to drink. So we go to the bar. Nobody's drinking this water or soda or something. And he said, do you guys want to be in a video? Sure. Because videos were becoming popular at that time.
Okay.
And so the thought that I had, every time I tell this story, it's kind of goofy, but the thought I had was, shoot, yeah, I'm going to be the cute girl in the video.
Right.
Put on a cute outfit and I'm going to be cute. Right. So, of course, yes, that's why we said yes. So it was myself and Carla, let's say Lisa, Pam, all of us were there. But he only asked if Carla and I wanted to be in the video. So we accepted it. And I think I really honestly want to say like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, we met up with him, but it was not for a video. It was for rehearsals. So yeah, the rehearsals started before the video even happened.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was getting prepared for something.
Yes, he was getting prepared for something that we had no idea was even in his head.
And which
that
the
night
song
too,
was, what was the song so everybody knows?
Ring 'Em.
Okay.
Ring 'Em, yeah. And so we didn't know what his plans were until that night that we met. And he said, you guys want to be in a video? Then he pulled out his 12-inch singles and showed us that he was a Holy Ghost boy. I keep getting these interruptions on my phone. But yeah, he showed us he was a Holy Ghost boy. So at that point, then I knew he was the Holy Ghost boy, but it
Right.
was not MC Hammer. Yeah. So it was just really interesting. But that's what started first. This rehearsals.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
rehearsals. And so
Mm-hmm.
once you moved, was it like a daily situation or was it like more of a, okay, well, I'm gonna put you guys in a group and then we're going to continue to work together. How was those
You mean for the rehearsals?
Yes, 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 yes.
The rehearsals were that he was forming a group, which was
Okay,
MC Hammer and the
understood.
Posse.
Okay,
That's what it
okay.
was becoming. He had 2 DJs already.
Mm.
It was myself,
Y'all
Carla,
didn't
and
even
Ace. We were
know.
the dancers. So he's already got this whole thing in his head. And we get together and he plays music. He said, this is what I want to choreograph. This is what it's going to be about, blah, blah. So, you know, we're just there like, oh, so we got to do this to be in the video. Like we didn't
Right.
know anything. Yeah. But we stuck in there. And the rehearsals happened. The rehearsals were long. They were intense. They were every day. No one was getting paid. And we were traveling from Oakland to Fremont, which is a good, 40-minute
Right.
drive to practice. Yeah. So
Every day.
it was always very challenging, but interesting because I look back on it now, it's like we didn't know what the hell was going on. We was just
At all.
showing up. We didn't know who this dude was. We we just thought we was gonna be in a video, so we gotta show up and do whatever with it. But yeah, we
Now we
started
gotta learn a whole
a
routine and
whole
we
routine.
traveling and
Child,
we
that ain't what we
ain't
signed up
getting
for.
paid.
Where my cute outfit at? That's all I want to do. Can we be cute and not stand over there and y'all pan or whatever? That's what they call it. We gonna pan in this direction. But yeah, we did that, and then before the video even started with that, we were doing spot dates in the Bay Area, all of them down the coast of the auditoriums and just whatever. He found anywhere he could perform, and we were performing before the video started. I don't even know what year Let's Get It Started came out. I don't even remember, but yeah, it was at least a year later.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
So
hilarious.
so in that process, were you still doing other things or was dancing your main focus at that time?
It still wasn't because
No.
we didn't, he said, do you want to be in the video?
We still waiting on the video.
I'm like, bro, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not looking like, oh, this is my job now, or this is
Yeah.
my role, or, we still confused as to when is the video coming? Why are we performing? And he had said some things, but I still don't think,
It
I
didn't
know for me
fit.
and Carla, yeah,
Right.
we still didn't grasp it because we were still kind of like, okay, well, where's the video? Do we do this before the video happens? Or, but we were literally becoming a group. He
Group.
was really putting and pulling this together and trying to create what he wanted his look to be and his
Right.
sound and his whole presentation. And so we were all in that, as ditzy as we were. Okay. But yeah, we did that, and then eventually, we had to have another conversation because people were just uncomfortable. Like I said,
Of course. Of
too
course.
much. It's too much going on, and we're not getting paid, and you're demanding a lot because you got to be on time. Whenever it started, you could get there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, but you're not leaving until 11 o'clock at night.
Mm.
And everybody didn't have a car. You know what I mean? So you're talking about transportation, you're talking about gas, you're talking about time. And so when you don't really understand what's expected of you, and then you don't know what's going to be required to
Mm.
do what's expected, and you're just showing up, and there's not compensation, not clear communication, it got tense. People was like, "Bro, what are we really doing? Is this for
And
us,
and
or
at
is
the
this
time you had a
you?"
child, correct?
We had a couple talks, and the second was, I think, when it finally set in. By this time, Carly left. He had Little P, she was added, and then Terrible T. So now it's 4 dancers. Myself,
Okay.
Terrible T, Little P, Ace, 2 DJs, and I think there was Dante, security. I'm trying to remember who all was there. But then at that point, he said, look, this is what I'm trying to do. This is where
Okay.
I'm trying to go. We just stick together. We could all make money, you know, get our family the
He saw the
homes and
bigger
the cars.
picture.
Yeah. Now he's
Understood.
explaining, oh, okay, now we get it. You know, we can stick around a little bit longer and see this through. But yeah, it was just really like, okay.
We're gonna stick by him. Yeah, that's him.
Put it in that blind love. We gonna stick by you, bro. We gonna hang out, you know. So yeah, it was him first.
So how soon after did he become MC Hammer? And then how soon after did you guys transition from being just the background dancers to the actual group?
Child, I would say probably a total of 2 years. He had already established himself by selling music out of the trunk of his car. You know, so his sound was getting around as it was. He was laying that kind of groundwork. But doing radio shows, you know, doing local shows, you know, bringing attention to yourself, going to LA, doing different things, battling people in clubs, stuff like that. It brought attention because now he's doing club hopping to get his music played. So
Right.
I would say a year and a half to 2 years. And the only reason why I say that is because I remember 87 is the year I met him.
Right.
89 was the year our album was released. The first
Correct.
album was released.
Correct.
So that's 2 years.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
So
It was
y'all
quick.
first you go into it blind. Second, you go into it and your dancing is not your passion, but it becomes.
It
And
because
then
I'm gonna say it like this: dancing is my passion. I
okay,
love it. You
okay,
know,
okay.
it's to be honest, today, and I mean present day, like right now,
Right,
there's no music playing in the house,
right.
but I'm in the kitchen dancing. I'm in the den choreo. It's something it's like breathing for me. So
Right,
it is a passion. It's something I just love to do. It's natural for me. But
right,
it wasn't something that I thought this is going to get me into the music industry, or this is going to get me into movies, or
right,
this is going to get me to Soul Train. I never, thought of it in that way. Like, let me use it, you know.
yeah,
Didn't see myself that way, but I just knew I loved it. You know, this is something I really was attracted to and drawn to. But he must have seen something in
right,
myself, and then his vision of what he wanted his group to look like. You know, I added to that. But yeah, it was just okay. I can do that. I can be a cute girl in the video, no problem. You want
right,
me to dance a little bit? Sure, I can. I can dance a little bit. Okay, you want us to rehearse and choreograph? Sure, I can choreograph. I've been a cheerleader. Sure, I can do it. It's just natural. I didn't have a problem with it.
right,
Lot of fun. Loved it. Music was amazing. You know, I'm like, okay, he got a little something. He got a little sound. You know, I
right,
can work with that. But we did not know how long it would take. We didn't really know the direction he was going in. He really wanted a record deal. That's what he was shopping himself around for. He was shopping the group around for, that look, that sound. So yeah, when he had that final conversation, he was like, this is what I'm trying to do.
right,
If we could just stick in here together, put all our energy together, and we can make some money, we can take care of our
right.
families, be a team about it. Okay, okay. So he got Capitol Records to listen to him. They were attracted, interested, but they said, what else do you have? We don't want just you as a solo, rap artist. Rap was very new, hip hop was very new. So
Right.
Capitol Records was like, cool, what else you got? We see you, but what else you got? Oh, I got
So
Oaktown's
he
357.
already had
And yeah,
the plan and the
yes,
execution. Okay.
he already had it in here, you see.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, once they said what you have, then on thinking on his feet, he was like, oh, I got Oaktown's 357 and I have Ace Juice. This man ain't had no Oaktown's 357. And he ain't had no Ace Juice, okay? Because Ace was one of the dancers and Juice was one of his best friends, okay? So he gonna put them together and
Right.
make a boogaloo. Now what was that called? I can't think of a house group. It was a house group. They were gonna be housed, and then it was gonna be Uptown 357, which were gonna be three females who could sing, who could rap and who could dance. So he
Okay,
was auditioning ladies for that, but he had the name, so that's what he
okay,
sold.
okay.
Yeah.
That was another question of mine. So how did you even know you could sing or rap at this point? Because have you been doing that as well? Had you or dibbling dabbling, so to speak? Had you been doing that or no?
No, you know what? I think they should call something talent on demand.
I know that's right.
You get put in a situation and it's like you got to show up.
You're
You
like,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
okay, I can do that.
Hey, and I had been saying that the whole time. Oh, I can do
Right,
that.
right.
Sure. So the young ladies that he was auditioning, I think they could sing. I wasn't sure if they could rap or not. I can't remember. But I know what changed his direction of thought was he saw Lil P playing around on the mic
Right.
during rehearsal one time.
Yeah.
And she was doing Salt and Pepper's Tramp.
Mhm.
And she's always bouncy and full of energy or whatever, but she had that voice. She had a
Right.
personality. So he said, hey, I can work with you, right? He's still auditioning the other girls, but he's thinking he can add her to his roster and she can be a solo artist. So he kind of tried to romance her into it a couple of times, talking to her, hey, you got it. Let's do this. Let's put you on the mic. Just trying to get her to
Right.
ease up and ease into it. And she's like, no, you know what? I really don't want to do it by myself. I will only do it if Duana and Tabitha do it with me. So he came to us. He was like, hey, I have this thought and I'm listening to Lil Peep, but she said she'll only do it if you guys are interested. I was like, sure.
Okay.
We're here. Why not? Where are we going? You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, we're in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Straight from rehearsal to the
To the
studio
studio, to the recording
every day.
studio.
Now
Every
this
day.
is becoming a consistent thing.
It's a consistent thing.
Were you also continuing the background portion of
Yes.
dancing as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All of that was taking place. So we get in the studio and now it's how many songs that we have to put together for the album. He had some songs he had written. He had concepts for songs. So now we're having to help with lyrics and stuff like that. And that's where the poetry comes in,
Oh.
poetry, sarcasm, a little attitude, and you put that to, yeah. And so we were able to create it in the
Yeah.
studio on demand.
On and that was what is it? Juicy Got You Crazy? Is that the first single that
Yeah
you
was the
guys
first one.
dropped? Oh, the
Yeah
first
was the
one. Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I thought it was the Juicy. I'm like, oh shucks now. Y'all did he come up with did y'all okay, so how influential were you all when it came to writing the songs, or did he already I know you said he had something in mind and had a format and things, but did you guys put input in it? Did he allow those type of things to
He
happen?
did. There were some songs he already had that I think he had not used for himself.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you know how some artists will have stuff in the vault, I
right.
would
Yes.
say, because we know
Yes.
Prince had a whole big old vault.
Yes.
But I think he had some songs that he had not used for himself that were given to us for the album for the sake of creating an album. But
Uh,
on top of that, you had to have lyrics as well. You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying? So he wrote some of the lyrics, or he would tell us what the concept was, give us some of the ideas, and we would follow through with that, finish it up. So all three of us, myself, Terrible T, Lil P, we actually did contribute to writing on that first album.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did you guys get credit and stuff? Because I know I was talking to Chris the Glove yesterday. He said he was talking about how important it was to get credit for the work that you do. Do you feel
It
the
is.
same about that? And if so, can you elaborate on that?
Um, I think I know that it's important for you to get credit for the work that you do. And it's so many aspects of that. But the one I would say is most important is because you don't feel validated. You don't feel valued. You don't feel seen, um, or even understood in a wholeness. You understand what I'm saying? Because now it looks like everybody did something for you to be who you are. And
Yeah.
that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't care if you had a song and it was almost complete and you said something's missing and I gave you a melody. I gave you a word. I told you to take something out and it creates whatever is now a big hit. You
Right.
need to say thank you to that person. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have thought about her. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made these changes. But your contribution, come on. You know what I'm saying? So you have
Yeah.
to give people their due in all ways. Let me say, hey, she did that. Thank you very much. Let me put her
Acknowledge.
name on this document
Mm-hmm.
because she did that. Thank you very much. And let me
Mm-hmm.
make sure she's getting her compensation because she did that. And thank you very much. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That goes down in history. People are always reading album liners. You know, you have ASCAP and BMI, who knows who else, who's keeping tally of when this is played so they can give you your coins.
Yes.
Yeah, I want you to know what I did.
Yeah.
Because that's work.
Yeah.
It's work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very important that people get their credit. It does not always happen.
And I don't know if this is overstepping my boundaries, but do you own all of your masters and
No,
your
we do
no,
not.
you do not.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We do not.
Mm,
No,
okay.
no.
If was that I don't know how to I guess if you knew about your contract, would you sign the same deal today that you signed years ago?
No.
And
Mm-mm.
if you can elaborate on that, could you give us a little bit of backstory of why or what you would do different?
Um, I wouldn't have signed it. That's the one thing I would not have done that would be different. What I did at the time, I wouldn't change that, which
Right.
is to advocate for myself and to see if I could get legal assistance, legal advice,
Right.
legal input or support. And we were not allowed, yeah, to have that. We were not allowed to research on our own. We were not allowed to have the contract, to review
Mhm.
the contract.
Was that
Um,
based off of capital?
no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no, no.
Okay.
That
I
was
just
not based off of Capital Records
okay.
at all. They wouldn't have operated that way at all.
Okay.
Um, but whatever this contract was, it was big.
Yeah. 'Cause it
It
was
was
4 years,
lengthy,
right? If I'm
huh?
if was it 4 years if I'm not mistaken?
I don't even know the term of it, to be honest, because we never got a chance to go through it.
Okay.
Mhm. So that's why I said I would not sign it. But I did. I looked for, I think all of us tried to find some way to have
A loophole.
someone legal, an attorney or somebody that was our spokesperson that spoke
Right.
for us. And again, you have to realize we know nothing about the entertainment industry.
Right.
This is not something we intended for ourselves. This was his dream,
Right.
you see.
Yes.
Um, so he had more knowledge about certain things going in.
Right.
We were dancers. The whole point we were trying to do is when is the video? You understand what I'm saying? Now you're bringing us into this all this other stuff.
Right.
You know, now we're a group and we got to write songs and record an album. And so I feel like everything that was asked of us, not given to us, is not given to us. People have to understand that. I showed up because my mom told me when you commit to something, you show up. When you show up, do your best.
Yes.
So if I told you, yes, I'm gonna show up and do my best, and I'm gonna see how you treat me, I'm gonna try to navigate that because, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's why I would like for it to be understood. He did not take us out of the Oakland neighborhood and give us the opportunity to blah, 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 blue blue.
Right.
It was an invitation, and we
Mm.
accepted the invitation to share who we are, what we have with him and his dream
Mm.
and succeed. That's what
And
we did.
and succeed. Yes.
That's
Yes.
what we did. And we contributed, okay?
Mhm.
That's what we did.
Mm.
So, yes, if I had it to do again, knowing what I know, I probably would have advocated a lot harder for myself,
Right.
you know, and really put my foot down and say, hey, this ain't cool. You
This
know
ain't
what I'm
fair or
saying?
this ain't
We
whatever
had given
whatever
so
the case may
much.
be. Mhm.
Yeah, we had given so much. We had invested so much time. But the way they asked us to sign the contract was not cool. So we were on a plane on our way to LA to do the Arsenio Hall show. And on the plane, in the air, they said, here are the contracts. You guys need to sign these contracts. I do believe somebody asked for an attorney. It was like, you don't need no attorneys. But if you don't sign this contract, by the time we land, we'll be sending you back.
Damn.
And we're on our way to Arsenio Hall. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that happens. So it always annoys me, you know, to some degree today. I'm cool with Hammer. You know, we're cool. It is what it is. You know, God bless him. I don't have nothing. No animosity, no nothing. It's gonna be love. You understand what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to get there. I have no issues with Terrible T, Lil P, or it's gonna be love. You know what I'm saying? Whether we talk tomorrow or we don't, you know, all of them. We grew up together, you know, in the industry. But I still to this day do not appreciate people feeling like he gave us something. Like he saved us. Oh, it's so good that he took them out of impoverished neighborhoods or crack infested. Or, you know, he went back to the hood and he brought all his people with him. No.
Not the case at all.
Yeah, I didn't do drugs. I wasn't on the street. I graduated from high school. I had done some college. Yes, I was a single mother, but I'm very articulate. You know what I'm saying? So he invited people, and people, because they have a passion for dance, said yes.
Yeah.
Ace Roberson said yes. Terrible T said yes. I said yes. Lil P said yes. It was an invitation. It's not like, oh, girl, I see you out there. Let me help you, blah, blah, blah. No. And Hammer said, if we all stick together, we all gonna make money. We can take care of our families. You can put your children in any school you want to. I was the only one that had a child. You know, his wife was pregnant, but I literally was the only one that had a child at the time. You know, you probably get a car. These kind of things were said.
Yeah.
You know, so okay, sure.
Incentive, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah. If this is the opportunity, let me take that back. If this is something we can make an opportunity to better ourselves,
Why not?
because you're still inviting me to take part in the opportunity you're creating for, but now I can create an opportunity for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all of it is an invitation. It is not something where we're afraid we're gonna fall into crack when we go back home, or no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just thought it
I'm a
was
good
really
home.
interesting when people, they applaud him and they put him on this pedestal. Okay, but don't do that trying to minimize what someone else did.
Right.
All the hours I put in, and my mom is watching my son, and I'm on tour, and my mom and my aunt are watching my son.
Yeah.
No, that's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
taking you away from a lot of things as well. And you know,
yeah,
you
it's a
gotta it's
sacrifice.
sacrifice. Jinx. That was amazing.
Look,
Oh,
I'm
this
telling
thing
you, we
called
still ain't seen the
entertainment.
video. No, I'm kidding, but the video did happen by then. We had done
Right.
Let's Get It Started, I think, by then.
Okay, so you guys were traveling. Were you were traveling the world, or was it just
No, just the Bay Area, just
okay?
California.
Just the Bay Area, and at the time of becoming a group, you said it was a 2-year span, and then after that 2-year span, what happened with the group and MC Hammer, and what did you guys like? Did you travel? Did you do anything? Um, what is it? I don't know how to say it. I guess together still, if that makes sense?
We did. Yeah, everything we
Okay.
did was together. So
Everything,
he
okay.
kept it in-house. That's the best way to describe it. He
Yeah.
kept it in-house. So even though he had secured his record deal with Capitol Records, he secured a deal for himself for Oaktown 357 for Ace Juice. Now we're all recording artists. We were still touring
Okay.
as MC Hammer and the Posse.
Gotcha.
So Oaktown's 357 might open that show, but once the show was over, and if Hammer's headlining it, we went back and performed with Hammer as his dancers. Yeah, so it was double duty. Yeah.
I hope y'all got paid double the funds. That's a
Girl,
good
don't get
story.
me started.
Ooh,
Girl, don't
I
get
don't
me
wanna
started.
tiptoe on that rope. I don't wanna do it.
Don't get me started on that one. But yeah, we got the deal with Capitol. He was so excited about that, and we were too. And the real work really set in at that point. Now we needed to do videos for Oaktown 357.
Right.
We had to do videos for Ace Juice. He had to do videos. So we were in LA like knocking it out.
Wow.
Just 24/7. One video, yeah. I think he did Put Me in the Mix. And then Ace Juice, I forget their first song. But yeah, we were in LA knocking those videos out and getting it done. You know what I
And
mean?
that was between the years of what was that? It ended in 92, right?
That still had to be 89, 90.
That was still
Oh yeah.
what?
Yeah. When we're talking about condensing this,
Right,
it
right.
was jam
Dang.
packed. It was constant. It was constant.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good thing it's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, but it's consistent,
It was a
I guess.
good thing in that it tested all of us.
Okay.
But when it was time, it was just time, and we
Yeah.
did whatever it was. We were ready. The rehearsals had gone to where we were just tight. I didn't have to look over to see where Ace was. He didn't have to find. We knew not to look. You know what I'm saying? Because we were
Right.
without mirrors, so you need to know your spot. You need to know how far everybody is. Just knowing. So it was a lot that we put into making sure that the show was tight, but yeah, it happened pretty quickly. But we did tour around the Bay Area, filmed videos in LA, and then eventually secured a tour. So now we're going across the country.
Okay,
Yeah.
what year that was still around that time?
It still had to
Everything
be
was before 91.
late 89, early 90s. It had to
Okay.
be early 90s because
Wow.
by 91, 92, I
Mhm.
say by 92. Yeah, by 92, I think we were finishing up.
Yeah, 'cause that's where, from my research, it says 88 to 92, 4
Yeah,
years, Capitol
yeah,
Records. So,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so once you guys finished up with that, were you guys still a group or,
Mhm.
how did the transition go for you as an individual and as a group?
Okay, so first we're MC Hammer and the Posse, and then
Yep,
he's creating two other groups, and now we're MC Hammer and the Posse, O-Town 357, Ace Juice. We're touring together,
yep,
and then because it's becoming so busy and there's demand for O-Town 357, now we're performing, and he's got to
okay,
have other dancers. So we had to train these new dancers coming on with the choreography that we had created so
okay,
that they could do his show, and now we're performing on our own. So
right,
now we still tour together. There's still MC Hammer Posse, or MC Hammer, I should say, now, because the Posse part was gone. And then it's Oaktown 357. So we
okay,
would open the show, but then he would come on and headline with whoever his dancers were at the time.
okay,
His show just kind of grew. And then Ace Juice never really did take off. So now that Oaktown 357's first album did so well, better than people expected, better than we even imagined.
right,
Now Capitol sends him and says, hey, here's another budget. We need another album for the girls.
okay.
So now we're actually stepping out on our own. And the second album, he gave us James Early, Michael Kelly, Terrence Davis,
Ooh,
Treasure Redmond, different writers and producers from other acts and, different producers. And then he told us, hey, you guys need to record your second album. So it's on you. You'll be in the studio. This is who you're working with. Whatever your concepts are, so that's when I
so he
learned.
gave y'all free range
Yeah,
at
he
this
really
point.
did.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
So that again tells you, did he give me no, he didn't give me the talent. I wouldn't have been able to carry it off in the first place, but
Fact.
for sure not the second album
Right,
if
right,
it wasn't naturally there. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So the second one was where James Early said, well, you guys are going to write, you're going to test your writing skills, we're going to put you with Treasure, we're going to put you with Terrence. And they were a group, one cause, one effect, another group that my husband, I don't know why I'm talking about my husband, but Hammer had brought on, probably because they act alike sometimes. But he had started to, when we were on tour, he would pick up groups. So he had Soft Touch, Special Generation, One Cause, One Effect, Parole. So while we would tour, Hammer would meet these acts, and if they were dope enough, he would bring them on the tour bus with them. Yeah. Oh Lord. So yeah, he would do these kinds of things. But anyway, One Cause, One Effect. They were a female male rap group, and they could sing, dance, and rap. Bad, bad, bad. So they were helping us write. James Early, dope producer, musician, he was helping us write. And so that's when he said, you guys are gonna be writing. So what do you have? And I said, well, I have some poems. I don't know, if that would work. So he's like, yeah, let me see what you got. And I think 3 of them ended up on the album. 2 or 3 of them, yeah, ended up on the album. He actually made them into songs. Yeah. So that's when I learned too that the writing could be more than just me writing in my journal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that happened. We broke off. We recorded another album. We had a photo shoot, doing videos. That's It's Not Your Money, Turn It Up, Honey, all those songs. And it was really doing great. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a miscommunication between Capitol Records and Louis Burrell, but something happened, bumped heads, and next thing I know, they're telling us, come off the tour. We're going to swap you guys out with TLC. Nobody really likes y'all. And they sent us back home. And I guess 3 or 4 months later, they were releasing us, telling us that was it.
Just like that.
Just like that.
What?
Yeah.
So just as fast as it started,
Just as fast. Yes, ma'am.
they just said, okay, well, we done. We're going to sit y'all right here.
Yeah.
Wow. So
no,
what?
thank you. No, I'm sorry. It didn't work out. No, nothing. No, nothing.
Nothing. So what were you guys? Not you guys, you specifically. What was your emotions like? What were you going through? What can you remember about that day that just, that this was like, what? Why would you do that? Or like, did you
It was
start
all of
questioning
that. It was
stuff?
all of that. Yeah, I think we had been feeling like something was off.
A little shaky about something.
Yeah, something.
Mhm.
Not to say that the whole thing was shaky in the
Yeah.
beginning, anyway, but just because it just was. But we we stayed because even though it was shaky, we were producing, we were making things, and it was working. It was just like, even though it was crazy. So it was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It was very, very crazy. I just think for me and Tabitha, Terrible T, we felt like something was off because we were on tour. The shows were good. We knew that we were doing great in opening acts. We had the feedback. We saw the audiences. So it's not true that we weren't selling out tickets. Now, I'm going to say this too. People say often that no one comes to see the opening act. Well, that was not true in our case. People were literally showing up early to see us at the beginning of the show. Okay? So when you say ticket sales were down, it's not the opening act, that's the headliner.
Yeah.
And whoever else you have.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Not the opening act. But they put that on us and said, well, you guys were not selling out. We don't need to. We the opening act, bruh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they took us off that tour and put TLC on that tour. They sent us back home and started giving us promotional dates. So that's when you just go to the club and you make appearances and they play your song and you say a few things.
So no more performances.
No more performances. Just promotional tour. So you do appearances, you do radio shows, you do stuff like that. It was backwards. You do all that stuff as you're done
Right.
the tour and during the tour, but
Right.
not take somebody off the tour and then promotional tour. So
Right.
they did the promotional tour for a few dates and then sent us back home to the Bay Area. And so we was like, something's not right. You know, we talking every now and then, figuring, okay, well, we ain't heard nothing. We're going to go down to the studio and practice, whatever,
Right.
rehearse, discuss some things. And next thing we know, we're getting a call. They're going to meet us, have us meet down at the studio. The studio was a series of storage places
Mm-hmm.
that you could. They just converted them. So one was like a gym, one was a dance studio, one was a office, and one was a recording studio. So
Right.
they wanted us to come down there and have a meeting, and so they bring us in. Hammer is not there. I pull up, I park, Tabitha pulls up, she parks. We
Mm-hmm.
greet each other. We're walking in, he's walking out. We get into the office, his brother's there, and I cannot for the life of me today remember who else was there, but I know it was 2 or 3 other dudes with his brother in the office. And he says, hey, here's you guys' final check. And he said, that's it. That's
What?
all. Yeah.
He didn't
And I
even
said, what you
know
mean?
we
I said,
noticed
and he
y'all.
said,
Said no.
I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? He said, he said, it's over, MF. It's done. It's over. That's it. That's your last check. We was like, wow. Okay. And we just got up and we left. And to this day, the weirdest thing for me was we were so in shock. Number one, we were at a loss for words. Number two, we had no idea what was going on, none
Right.
whatsoever. We walk out. She goes to her car. I go to my car. We literally get in the car and we drive off. We didn't say 2 words to each other. I think we were just
In shock.
yeah, we just didn't. We drove off, didn't say anything, but we knew something had been, amiss.
Right. Right.
So I go home and I tell my mom, and I'm in between emotions because I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Right.
I don't even know what to tell you what just happened. But the other emotion is, "Oh my God, I'm so glad it's done.
Right.
I'm so glad it's
The
done because it
relief.
was really wreaking havoc on my body. Just
Mm.
the stress, not trusting anybody, not feeling comfortable, just and the weight of having to carry that and still show up and perform. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was very, very, very hard. It
So
was very
how
hard.
did you guys like share your successes and your, how did you celebrate? How did you get those moments and take them, you know what I mean? Like take them like, "Hey, we did this." You know,
We had to heal. And I know that there's still some pains there, but I had to work through it.
yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Tommy Davidson, the comedian. I met him
Mm.
not too long after everything had kind of fell apart, and he wanted to take me somewhere to dinner
Mhm.
to introduce me to some other people in the industry, just movies and comedy and stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
didn't want to go. He was like, "Why don't you want to go?" I said, "Because I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to have to answer questions as to what happened or, oh, yeah, you used to be. And well, what are you guys?" I didn't want to deal with that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because I knew what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know what y'all see, the shiny and the pretty and the cute and you love the song and the videos, but behind the scenes, I knew all of that. So I
Right.
didn't want to have to try to figure out how to marry those two to
Ooh,
say that I understand what you saw. I get that, and thank you very much. I
but
wasn't there yet, and I did not know how not to say anything about the pain it caused me. I didn't
mm,
know. So I didn't want to be put in that position to smile and be pretty anymore.
yeah.
It was just so uncomfortable for me. So
Yeah.
he told me, and for some reason, I just felt like I just had been lying, so I just didn't want
Mm.
to deal with it. But he told me, he said, nobody knows that. He said, they love you for what you did. And you have to own that. You have to know that that was a good thing. You have to know that what you did was beautiful. He told me that. He said, you have to own it. It took me years. It took me years.
Uh-oh. I can hear you now. Folks calling. It's all good. But follow Miss Hollywood, MISS Hollywood 313. Follow the podcast, So Hollywood the podcast. Also, follow my special guest today, Sweet LD 357. Once again, if you look at the caption. Oh, we back. Hold on, there she go. And hello. I can't hear you though. Your audio went out. I just love the rawness of how my podcast is.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay.
We back.
Yeah, so I just didn't want to reconcile that, but he told me that I had to get to the point where I would be okay with it. So I'm okay with it now. I can talk
Mhm.
about it and just say that we were all young, we were all naive.
Mm.
We did our best under those circumstances, and we did some really amazing things.
Of course.
People still love it to this day, and I can own it for it being mine and not anybody else's. I can own it for it being mine because I created it. I can own it for it being mine, regardless of what BMI or ASCAP or anybody does or does not pay me, or what the contract said. I was there. I
Yeah.
lived it. I created it. It's mine.
It's
You know what I'm
yours.
saying? So
Mhm.
whether they don't like it because, oh, they're not real, female MCs, they didn't really intend to do that, or you don't know what my journey is. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I commend anybody that is put in a position where they have to produce or perform or show up for talent on demand, not knowing that that's what they have within them. And to this day, it's still being played on the radio.
You heard it. You see how fast I went to that button?
I need one of
I was like, oh shucks, yeah, talk your talk.
You know what I'm saying? Pop my collar. My little collar a little bit. So yeah, I know you got all these young ladies out nowadays,
Of
Megan Thee
course.
Stallion, Cardi B, whoever else, and nobody's knocking them for where they come from.
Right.
You should not. You understand what I'm saying? You
Yes.
should not.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how I feel after all these years. It's been over 30 years.
Yeah. Actually,
I'm
32 to be exact.
there you go. And I'm what, 57 now? I don't have time to be playing with y'all.
What?
Yeah. I just don't have time to play with people.
No way. No
Girl,
way.
no hot flash. I tell you right
And that's on that. That's
now.
real.
You know what I'm saying?
That
But
is
yeah,
real.
it's just one of those things where it's like you get to a certain point where it's like, listen, Linda, listen. You know?
Right. We gotta move forward.
We've had that
forward.
where, who's the dopest female MC, who did this, who did that. I'm not going to compare myself. I am not Lauryn Hill.
Right.
But I still can write.
Right. You're impactful. You're still impactful in the world, and you were impactful with writing, with rapping, with being an artist, with being a dancer, just having the ability to say, yes, I want to do this. And you actually did it.
And trust yourself to show up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? To trust yourself enough to say yes.
As a Black woman, too.
Thank you.
Mm. After all of that, you
After
still
all of that, child.
pushing.
Still today, you
Yes.
still gonna have some people compare you, and it's like, you guys, it's over 30 years ago. Can we let it go?
Please, because I did, so why can't y'all?
I did. For my sanity, yes, I did. Yeah.
So in the early, not early 2000s, but like 2012, I see that you created Workout 357. So after the disbanding of the group, what did you do for yourself afterwards? Leading up
Afterwards,
until 2012.
I got really quiet. I went home to my mom. You know, we had to move out of our apartments. We lost the cars. We lost a lot of stuff.
Life
Just having,
changing.
yeah, life changing. But I went home to my mom, and then I decided to move to LA to go and stay with my dad. I had never really gotten a chance to know him because they had divorced when I was young. So I went to LA to live with him. I took my son there. So my son was probably 7 or 8, maybe 9 years old at the time. But I moved out there, went to cosmetology school, got my license, worked in a hair salon. Like I said, I went to school in LA.
You
I
love
was at
school.
community college in LA. I went to school there, and I lived there until my middle brother, it was 3 of us. I'm the oldest, so my middle brother, he was murdered. And so once he passed away, I moved back home with my mom because she needed me to come back home. So once I got home, I really got into just getting centered, I guess is the best way to. And so I stayed with Islam because Islam was part of my life as a child. We grew up in the nation. And then when I was on tour, every now and then I would carry the Quran with me, just have it with me, and a teddy bear. So I had the Quran, the teddy bear, and the rest of my stuff on tour with me all the time. And then when I got back home after we were released, I got back into it and just really, you know, try to get my head on, you know, right. And then my mom decided to move to Texas, so we moved here. I worked as a cosmetologist for a little while, got married. I have 2 younger sons now. My oldest one moved back to California, so I'm a grandmother. But, you know, just, yeah, I've been here since 99. So got here in 99, met my husband, we got married, and then again, back in school. And then I found, girl, me in school, we just obeyed. But found Zumba and started teaching Zumba. And then I ran into Terrible T and Lil P, found them through MySpace and then Facebook. Tried to reunite the group. And that's where the Workout 357 comes from because I'm like, I still dance. I love fitness because of Zumba. And so I was like, let me do that. But now it's not Workout 357, it's I Am Y Fitness.
Okay.
Now, fast forward 2021, we have I Am Y Fitness, and that's I Am Wealthy, Healthy, and Youthful. That's what that's So, yes, I taught Zumba from 2011 up until probably 2019.
Okay.
2019, somewhere in there. I stopped teaching because they charge you for the music. They charge you for the choreography. So each month you're paying. Yeah, to be a Zumba instructor, you pay for, yes, ma'am. You pay for the wardrobe, you pay for the shoes, you pay for everything. You're buying into it.
What?
To represent their brand. You're paying for it. So it's $30-something a month. Now I paid into that. I was in love with Zumba because I was like, this still me being able to dance. But let me tell you something that was funny. I went to a convention for Zumba. It was a Zumba convention. They have all these workshops, and I wanted to take the hip hop workshop. Let me see what they do, you know, because Zumba is salsa, merengue, cumbia, it's all of those types of Latin dances, or you know. So I wanted to see what they were going to offer for hip hop.
Don't tell me they played Hammer. Please don't.
They did. Girl, I'm in that workshop feeling some type of way. Like, for real? So I felt some type of way because I went up to the instructors and I was like, y'all do realize, because they played You Can't Touch This.
Okay.
Everybody seems to only know him from You Can't Touch This. Only old heads know of Let's Get It Started and Pump It Up and all that.
Let's get it started. Oh my God. I got an MC Hammer story too. I met him when I was in Los Angeles for the core DJ retreat, and he was really, really dope.
Okay,
He didn't really speak much. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, they played MC Hammer and I was like really floored. And I knew that I was mishandling myself in that moment because I'm like, how can you play this and not realize that you have one of us among you? You know what I'm saying? I'm in the class. So I went up to the instructors afterwards. I said, y'all do realize, you know, and they're like, no, really, really. But in fitness, people are so caught up on them being celebrities. They don't
Oh,
acknowledge.
because
Yeah.
they're
So when
the
I,
center, they're the instructor.
yes,
So
they're the
okay.
center, and this is Zumba, and we're this and we're that. So
Mm.
when I brought it to their attention and they minimized it, my sister friend was with me, Lisa, one of the ones that was in the club with me when I met Hammer. She was there with me because she was a Zumba instructor too.
Right.
When we first saw the video come up, I looked at her, she looked at me, she was like, girl. I said, I know, what the hell? I was like, do you think they know? She was like, no, I don't think they know. I was like, well, how the hell are you going? We having a conversation because we're trying to understand. We're blown
Right.
away.
Right.
So I said, should I say something? She's like, yeah, go tell them. So when I went up there to say something, I said, girl, they didn't even like blink an eye. She said, that's dope and it's deep at the same time.
Right.
First of all, she felt like it was dope because they recognized Hammer to play him. And she said, but it's deep that they didn't even acknowledge. I said, that's my fault because I'm mishandling myself in this industry by hiding because of what we went through. You know
Understood.
what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn a lot, but I let Zumba go. And I was like, I'm good. So y'all, I was mad at them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't teach Zumba anymore. I call it fitness dance. And we just dance. I'll pick a song that I like, you crack it up, and I choreograph it, and that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. So yeah, this is just me. I'm not representing Mixed Fit, nothing wrong with them, or Commit Dance or You Jam. They're all great. But just coming from where I come from, I don't need to represent anybody else.
Right.
I've already done that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
represented Hammer and I represented Oaktown 357. That's enough.
Yeah.
So let me brand myself. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
So
that's
that's
where
what
you
that is.
are currently.
That's where I'm at currently. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And with that being said, you also wrote a book. You're an author.
I
So can you
did.
elaborate on your book? It's called Conditional Truths with an S.
Yes, and that means that under certain conditions, things are true at one time, might not be true the next time.
Mm.
They change, depending on what the condition is, what the situation is. We might need this to be true for us to do. You know what I'm saying? We're not ready for this other truth because we ain't ready to grow, let go, move on, or whatever. So
Right.
that's what it was. But a friend of mine, Simonia Montgomery, I met her through another young man, Gerald Sims. Gerald P. Sims, I think is his name. He introduced me to Raymond Ware. I'm trying to get the triangle here of the thing. Yeah, and then I met Simonia. Simonia is a poet. She's called the VIP. She does spoken words and she publishes her own books. So I met her after I did an interview on Rainbow Radio here in Texas.
Mhm.
And we became friends. She wanted me to contribute to her book called Penning My Way Off Life Support. So I
Mhm.
gave some poems to her to include in that book. And it was pretty dope because the book is black, but the pages are black and the print is white. So she had myself, herself, and some other women contribute to it. It's really dope. But I gave her a few poems and then she put it together and I shared it with some people. And then after a while, she was like, so you ready to do your book? Now I'm good.
You said no?
I did.
You said no?
Look, did you see how fast I said it though? Did you see how fast? I said it really fast. Like, nah, I'm good. I said it really fast. Like, nah, I'm good. Like one word, nah, I'm good. So yeah, she said, why not? I said, I'm not ready to share like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
I said, but I'll do it for my mom. My mom was always saying, baby, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. And so my thought is, let me do it if I have the opportunity before either one of us are no longer here.
Mm.
So I put it together, gave it to her, and then she did the editing. We came up with the cover, all that stuff. And I said, I only want 10 because my thought is to give it to my mom, have one for my 3 boys. My oldest son, he's 36 now, and my teenagers. And then a few other people, just have a few for the family. She's like, okay, I got you. So I get the rough draft. We went through that, and then I get the final print, one book of it. It comes in the mail. I'm in tears, like, oh my God, it's real. It's got my name on it. Oh my God, I'm doing all this, like, oh my God, I'm running. I show my husband, I'm like, oh my God, like, wow. And so she goes, yeah. She said, I want you to take a picture of it, but take a picture, with the book in your hand next to it, and then say that you're taking pre-orders. Stop the presses. What are we doing? Stop. No, you're not doing that. Yeah. You're going to take pre-orders and autograph it. I was like, no, that ain't what we said. That ain't what we know. We ain't doing that.
I
So,
did this before. I let somebody else lead. Now listen, we ain't doing this.
we ain't doing it, bro.
Right.
But needless to say, we did it. So I think I've sold over 50 books, maybe over 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, but
still did
the
it.
blessing is she's reached back out. She's like, "Are you ready for book number 2?" I need one of those things right here. I just need that. Instead of this drum, I got a drum. So now I'm supposed to be working on book number 2, and it's supposed to be done by December.
Exclusive access. So
Yeah.
that was exclusive for those that didn't know she was working on book number 2. Okay. Do you have a name for it yet, or is this all new? Is this all fresh?
I do have a name for it.
Okay. Oh. Okay. And with that being said,
I'll tell you the name. I'm just messing. The name is Left Me Unread.
Ooh. That could read a lot of ways. That
Left
could
Me Unread.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually, to be 100%, I want to get my son to get into books. My mother, she's actually writing him a book about his glasses, his experience with glasses, and we're coming up with the concept. She wrote it already, but we're actually, I want to see something in hand as well. So yeah.
His experience with what?
Glasses. He just got glasses, and
oh, how adorable.
So we have the whole I'll send it to you just so you can just
That's
read it and see it.
adorable.
But and then I have a friend that I went to college with. He's doing the illustrations and he's already started that. So I'm like, it's amazing. So be on the
It is.
lookout for
It's
that as
so
well.
empowering.
We're both. He's 8. He's 8. Yeah, actually, I'll
Oh,
show you.
snookums.
Right here.
Girl, let me tell you. Oh, he's adorable.
Thank you.
Girl, look at that face.
He's
Let me
into
tell you something. You
all
better
of
hold
it.
on to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I got to say. Because my Sadiq. Did you hear that voice? Did you hear that? Sadiq. Come here, please.
Yes,
This is the baby. This is it. I don't have no more.
She said, "This is it."
This is it. My oldest is 36. My other one, he's 19. He's in college. I gotta check on him, make sure he's still
just
okay.
dropped him off to college. I just saw that as well. Oh my goodness.
God, that was a lot.
I bet.
That was a lot. So this one here is the baby, and you don't even have a shirt on. You heard me call you.
He ain't want to get on camera. That's
you
what
don't
it
want to
was.
get on camera so I can show her what she about to encounter. You about to encounter hair across the lip, a deep voice.
My son is already like, I got a mustache. Can you see it?
Girl,
like, bro, get out of my face right now.
Got an 8. So yeah, that's what you got coming, y'all. The nonchalant, don't want to be bothered, ain't got time. That's that one in there. Yeah. 16.
So speaking of our generation or the upcoming generation, can you give us some advice for the culture? Something that you could leave the culture with?
It. Oh my God. To respect it, um, respect it, to protect it. Okay, come on, you can come down so she can see you. Come so you. This is what you're gonna have to deal with. Hold on, baby. I'm climbing up. Come on so she can see. See this here?
Hello.
He got chin hairs and all of this here. 16. Say hi with your voice so she.
Welcome to
Hello.
SoHollywood, the podcast.
Isn't that crazy?
16? Oh my goodness.
Gosh,
That's
yeah,
in 8
that's what
more
you're about to
years
run
for
into.
me.
I'm telling you, you're gonna wake up one day, he's gonna be taller than you.
He's extremely tall now.
And he wants to remind you that he's taller than you.
Yeah.
And you know, the deep voice, he's gonna say, Mom, I'm taller than you. He's gonna do that like that, you know. But yeah, for the culture, I would just say respect it. That means that those that came before you, they did pave the way. Whether you like the way they did it or not, they did pave the way. Honor it with being your best self. You know what I'm saying? Honor it. Knowing the business, knowing your talent. Always protect yourself in this business. Always own your talent in this business, you know, and then protect it. Just don't let people come in doing anything. It's kind of hard, but, you know, try to minimize the shenanigans if possible.
And educate yourself for sure.
Yeah. Just educate yourself. And I mean, even I have to do it because being in the entertainment industry, one that I did not know that I was going to be part of, which is entertainment, and then secondly, of hip hop and rap, did not know. I didn't get to be in the moment with certain artists as we were touring with them. So yeah, we met Heavy D, loved Heavy D, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, JJ Fad, NWA, Ice-T, you know, today with the R&B groups, Boyz II Men, Troop, you know, all of that. But I mean, I talk to some of them now. Like I still talk to Steve from Troop. I still talk to Big Bug from Group Today. And then, of course, you know, the MC Hammer family, I still speak and keep in touch with them. But, you know, sometimes you're just moving so much, this tours and this and that. You don't get to sit with people and really get to know them.
So many moving parts that you.
Moving parts, right. And so sometimes you need to take those moments and really hold on to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you never know when you're going to get it back, if you're going to get it back.
If you're going to get it back.
Right.
Right. Dickie, I need my plug, babe. Yeah, so it's just that would be my thing, is to respect it, even as they're finding their way. You know, as artists, they're finding their way. Respect it, and then protect it and honor themselves in it. You know,
right, of course.
As they're entering it, yeah. Okay, I gotta find me one. I don't even know where to get.
I'll send you a picture of my setup.
Please,
because
just
it's
so I
a
can
little.
go down the street. Make people nervous. Roll my window down. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Ain't got no sense, I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to leave us, or anything currently that you're working on? Because we're going to move on to our top 5, which it's supposed to be 5 questions, but I have 3 today. But it's 5 questions, 5 answers catered to my guests. And then we're gonna do. You already gave me an exclusive access, and then we're gonna do our shout outs and social media last words, and last but not least, the question of the day. So, is there anything that you want to leave our friends with? Because once we do an interview, we become friends. So, is there anything that you want to leave them with? Anything that you're currently working on that you want to let us know?
Okay, so I am working on virtual classes with My Fit Pod, and then I'm with the health and wellness company, which is Melaleuca. So I'm doing the health and wellness all together, and possibly soon, maybe working with a activewear line that I just recently got introduced to. So yeah, so there's fitness with My Fit Pod. We're just setting up virtual classes. I'm going to do that. Health and wellness, as far as, you know, healthy home, healthy environment, healthy body. Melaleuca, and that's an online wellness club. I hope they don't mind me saying it, but I'm doing that, and then I'm working on my book. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
And where can they find you? Well, no, you can give that at the wind down because that'll
Okay,
give you
yeah,
a shout out
the
to so
Instagrams and all that.
Mhm,
Yeah, the
mhm.
Instagrams.
So we're gonna move to the top 5, which is, like I said before, 5 questions, 5 answers, but I only have 3 today. So let's get to it. Top 5 songs you created.
Ooh, for real? Okay, so yeah, Wild and Loose, Turn It Up. Um, do I like Honey? I
Mm,
like Honey. Okay, I'm gonna say Honey,
okay.
and then It's Not Your Money.
You said it's not your money.
It's Not Your Money. Yeah, yeah.
Who makes the titles of these?
Look, I have no idea, but okay, but Turn It Up was a poem. Turn It Up was a poem.
Okay.
Honey was a song.
Okay.
I forget. I think James came up with Honey. Yeah. Hammer came up with that. Juicy Got You Crazy. He came up with that one.
Mm.
And then what was the other one I said? It's Not Your
Mhm.
Money. I
Yeah,
don't know who came up with that. I really honestly don't.
not your money.
It's
Hey,
not
it's
your
not
money,
your
not your
money.
money, not your. Oh, I should have said yeah. Did I say yeah?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, top 5 songs on your current playlist.
Ooh. Okay, so I have Rashida, which is by
Ooh,
John Lucien,
okay,
and then I have The Dance by Prince.
okay.
This other song I just learned about called Vila. Ooh, hold on one second. I hope I
Mhm.
don't lose you. Can you still see me searching?
I
It's
It's a
called
black
Vila
screen.
Bella.
Alabama.
Vilabella by Amaro Freitas or something like that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I gave you 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other one I like is Drake, Fair Trade.
Okay.
And then I like Woman by Doja Cat.
Ooh. Okay, so the last one is top 5 moments in your career.
Ooh, Soul Train, Arsenio Hall, The Apollo, Meeting Little Richard.
Ooh!
Oh, and Meeting Patti LaBelle. No. Take it back. Was that 5?
That was 5, but you can get it we can, we can make it exception.
Meeting Prince, and he kissed my hand. That's it right there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Did he smell like lavender? Did he?
Listen, I don't know what he smelled like. I was out of there. As soon as he did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, you're so
Yes.
oh my god.
Yes. So those are my top 6 on that one.
Wow, Prince?
Yes.
Oh, now
Yes.
that's another story to tell in its own. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get to the wind down, which is the shout out, social media, last words, and the question of the day. So you can go ahead with the shout outs.
And just shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff for loving the culture as much as he does, that he makes sure people such as myself are acknowledged and recognized, included, and their stories are told. So shout out to Jeff. I'm gonna give a shout out to Big Head. That's what I call Hammer. He's a big head. For his resiliency, for his idea, and for the invitation. I'm gonna give a shout out to him, and shout out to my family for carrying me through all of that
Right.
before, during, and after. Shout out to the Lord, Amen, Hallelujah, for all of it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Lord. And then my oldest son, yeah, because he was there. He was there.
Through it all. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure he got some stories to tell
Oh
too.
Lord, I'm hoping he don't. Look, let me tighten up my little sister locks here. Yes.
Not
Because
you
I mean, you
fixing your
never know
hair.
from a child's perspective, like
Really? Yeah.
how they see things. So, ooh,
Yeah.
wait. That's
Yeah.
it. I've never asked him anything about that either.
Really?
You
Never.
know, I
Yeah.
should ask him because he also produces, he writes, and he raps. So
Wow.
he's got it honest, and
Now
he
that
loves
would be a
music.
conversation to
Yeah,
be in
it
on.
would be. I need to speak with him on that for sure because I never have, but we went through it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
that's
shout out
something
to my
to do.
baby, my big baby.
Yo, baby.
Yeah,
And where
yeah.
can they follow you? I have it on the screen, but you can let them know.
At SweetLD357 on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then Suhaila Sabir on Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I just couldn't do Twitter.
You was just like, nah.
I can't.
It's a few things you say no to. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, now I'm good. You know, to say it real quick. Now I'm good. And then INY Fitness is also on Instagram too.
Yes.
That's my fitness. And official Oaktown 357. I'm trying to manage all the pages, childhood. So tell them don't hate, just go in there and follow. I'll
Just
post
go
something.
call all of them. All of them.
Yes. I'll post the official Oaktown's 357, I believe is what it is.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
mommy. Sorry about that. Okay, last but not least is the question of the day. What
Oh,
bothers you about the industry and what will be your solution to fixing it?
what bothers me is that at this, the deceit,
Mhm.
the deliberate deception, there's no need for it. No need for it. None whatsoever. It's enough money for everybody to have. There's no need to be deceptive with contracts, with points on, royalties or distribution. Is no
Publishing.
publishing any of that. There's no need for
Yeah.
the deceit. So whatever creates that, and I'm not sure if it's just greed, but if it were my business, that's just not how I would operate. That would be the only way I could change it. Is those who I do business with. That's not how I operate.
Right.
Get your fair share. It's enough money out here. You got cryptocurrency now. Come on, we got bitcoins.
So
We can
many
give it to
other
people.
ways.
Yeah,
Definitely so many
it's
other
enough to go around. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, you got YouTube now. People can just go on YouTube and be a musician and make money that way.
Yeah.
So why do we have to still in this industry deceive people with these record contracts and
To this day.
yeah, that's what how.
To this.
Where you had artists back in the day literally passing away broke because the royalties didn't go to them,
Mhm.
publishing didn't go to them. They own nothing. Why would you take somebody's stuff like that? And
Yeah.
you wouldn't have what you have if they were not singing. Like it's her voice, it's his playing the instrument or whatever. I mean, Prince of all people went through this.
Yeah.
So he's putting slave on the side of his face. Why? So yeah, that would be to me. I would just not. Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
would do. The deception, the deceit, the stealing, I would get rid of it.
Mhm. Just go
Yeah.
on and throw them in the fire.
Throw them under the bus. That's it. Rip up the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 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 yes.
It really should be reversed, where the artist is searching for the label that
Mm.
fits the direction they want to go in and is going to do things according to what they see fit.
Yeah.
Not the label looking for the artist and now they pin the artist up and the artist has to do what the label. No,
That's
we
the
reverse that.
yeah.
Yeah, we reverse it.
Yeah.
You know
At
what I'm
this
saying?
point, yeah,
That's the
what
way
is
it
it
should be.
called when they
A
control
puppet,
you? Yeah, there you go. That's pretty
puppet.
much what it is. And they still
Yeah.
taking these deals to this day and they still not business savvy as they need to be. Some of them aren't now.
But even still, it's like, why would you have to know business like that?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you see
That's
what I'm
absolutely
saying?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then
you
the
would
wording,
think
also the wording in the contracts too, because sometimes
exactly.
it just be a hell of a
The
lot of
manager would
words.
not have a job. The A&R would not have a job. The video production person would not have a job if it wasn't for the ones doing the work in front of the camera.
Yeah.
or in a recording studio. So how
Yeah.
would they get less? How?
If it wasn't for us, it
Yeah.
wouldn't happen.
So
Mm.
I would just reverse that where you don't live off of me like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, it's
Right.
not okay. We switch it up.
Well, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Thank you so much for
Amazing questions. Great job.
stopping
Great job.
by. So Hollywood the pod. I try to ask questions that I would want the answer to because it's not just for the people. This is like I said before, this is for me because
Okay.
I'm on the outside looking in and if it wasn't for you being a dancer and then becoming an artist and so on and so a lot of other people would become certain things in this thing
Right.
called entertainment. So
Right.
um
Right.
for me it's all about learning the foundation and where you come from and where this thing called entertainment has come from.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you definitely been a pivotal person in this thing called entertainment, and I appreciate you and
Thank you
continue
so
to
much.
do your thing, the fitness guru, writing your second book, your kids
Yay!
going off to college, just
I
like so
know.
much success is coming your
Thank
way
you.
or has come your way and is coming your way because I like to manifest things in my life and I'm in that realm of life, I guess. And like I said, I just really appreciate
Affirmations.
you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming by and gracing
Thank
us
you.
with your stories and because if you wouldn't have told your story, nobody else would. So this is an outlet
No,
and
and
a
that's a blessing.
platform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
That
thank you for letting me do it, and I'm grateful to still be here to tell it.
yes.
And
Me
don't want
too.
people to think that I'm bitter. That's just what happened. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not speaking from a place of being bitter.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You healthy. You flourishing. You doing stuff.
This girl is healing. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
So
and
yes,
that's what we need, and I think I'm there too. Like
yeah,
I'm starting to center myself and really like buckle down on taking accountability in that stage of my life because
that's
before
excellent.
it was hard. It was hard to say I did this, I didn't do this, or you know what I mean. So now it's coming to a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I did this. How can we fix this? Or you know what I
Yes,
mean? Taking the
yeah,
positive out of the negative and just trying
hmm
to, and not trying, but living my life the way it's supposed to be lived. So,
yeah. And
um,
that's the part of, like you said, the accountability. But you have to have a little clarity to say, okay, well, when that happened, what decision did I make, and why did I make that decision? So you
right,
own it the whole entire time.
right,
So given what we were put in, I still think we did amazing. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? And we said yes because we kept thinking the video's coming. I'm saying
You need some
we're
T-shirts
gonna
that
make some
say,
money
"We
in a
say
minute.
yes."
But the videos were coming and we were doing things and we were making it work. So of course you're gonna keep saying yes.
For sure.
Where was the ideal situation, environment? No, but we still got roses out of that. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Yeah.
yes,
So
and you're
today
still
I
getting
think
them.
my today my manifestation affirmation is and I just saw this on TikTok. Oh, I have TikTok too. Um, I gotta post the videos. But what did she say? She says, I just saw this manifestation. I've been saying it. Oh, I don't chase. I attract.
You said you don't chase, you attract.
Yeah, I saw this at the affirmation on TikTok. I don't chase. I attract.
Mm,
What belongs to me will simply find me. And then I added to that blessed and protected. That's
yeah,
what I added. So yeah. So
thank you.
yeah, y'all can
Thank you.
take that because I think it really works, especially when you're in a good headspace and you're feeling good about stuff. So you feeling,
Yeah,
and something comes in, it's like, oh, I gotta hurry up and just say, I
the
don't chase,
anxiety
I
get
attract.
kicking. Ooh,
Yep,
but
I
that ain't no
attract, and so
joke.
whatever is for me will simply find me, blessed and protected. We gonna make it work.
And that's how we gonna end this interview. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
namaste, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Make sure you
You're welcome.
guys like, share, subscribe this video, and tell a friend to tell a friend because word of mouth is the biggest form of marketing. And
Yes,
follow
it is.
SoHollywood the podcast on Instagram. Follow me, Miss Hollywood, MISS Hollywood 313, and then go to www.allofhollywood.biz to find any information on myself as well as my guest. And yeah, and you can be followed once again at SWEETLD, the
LD
numbers
357.
357. And we're gonna get up out of here. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff was coming
Thank you,
in and out
Jeff.
of the live, and shout out to him. Shout out to BTP Media Group.
Media Group,
And
yes.
yeah, tomorrow, oh man, it's gonna be another big show. I got Chubb Rock on the show
What?
tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah,
And
I saw him once. This was some years ago.
uh-oh,
And
you
it
have
was so
Chubb Rock
funny
too?
because everybody is not an embracer like I am. But like, and I have to apologize, but like if I have not met a person that I knew was in the music industry with me, and I'm meeting them for the first time, I'm gonna immediately just give a big hug because I don't
Right.
have all the other stuff around me.
Right.
Oh my God, he was so like, oh, don't. I was like, oh, okay. Oh my God, it was so funny. But sometimes people are very uncomfortable.
Of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Of
So
course.
yeah, it was okay. I just remember that it was in North Carolina too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Keep
Thank you so much. She's like, poor girl, she just be going through it. But yes, tell him I said hi.
I will. I will. I'm
Yes,
sure he's gonna
you
watch
guys
this
have
video. I'm gonna send him this little clip, and I'm gonna.
a-
I'm be like, you see what you did to this young lady? Do you see
I
what
know,
you
I was
did
traumatized.
to this day? She remember exactly what you had
And
on.
then he was like, yeah, yeah. Like, girl, I
But
remember you.
I'm gonna get him to talk about it. He gonna be like, no, I remember that. But I'm gonna get him to talk about it.
He won't
But like I
remember.
said, I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Catch me tomorrow. I will be live 2 times actually, and we're gonna be out of here. Thank you again. Thank you again.
Yes,
Peace up,
ma'am.
A Town down.
Namaste and thank you.
Namaste.
Deuces.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Is it me or is it hot in here? Hey, 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 hey. Is it me or is it hot in here? H-O-double. Oh, I can't see you. Hold on. Let me put you back on the screen. There you go. Uh-oh, we got some dancing. Yeah.
Wait, let me do my dance. I'm in the chair.
Show me the move that Hammer showed you.
Oh. I don't have Megan leaves. You know, you gotta have Megan's leaves to do that. Because girl, he took that cabbage patch and dropped it. I was like, we ain't dropping it today, okay? Yeah, these knees won't be agreeing. You so silly over there.
Oh my God.
Silly. I'm gonna go.
All right. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God. Is it me or is it hot in here? Peace up, A-Town down. Tomorrow, join me live on Instagram with none other than Chubb Rock at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a gentleman by the name of, what is his name? I can't think of his name. Oh, no. But tune in at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for more interviews with your girl. It's Hollywood. SoHollywood the podcast. Hot and so hot in here. Peace. And I'm out this thing like a chicken wing on the string.